All right, everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hard to believe, but we've had this zero turn for about 2.5 years now. I went back through our first couple videos that we posted with it, and it was almost 2.5 years ago. So a lot of usage out of this, but not commercial usage, just using it on our property. We are up to, I believe, 168 hours, just about. We're going to talk about the Comfort Glide seat and the suspension seat that we have on that, but we knocked out some bush hogging / rotary cutting with the Kubota LX2610 and the bush hog squealer. We have to mow this once a year, maybe twice a year, otherwise it just turns into brush. But this is very wet typically, and there's only a certain few times of the year that we can mow it. If it's a little bit drier in the spring, we like to do it earlier on, but it was way too wet this year. So we just got this section done. And then we also did up by the shooting range and over by the willow trees. Have a little bit more to do yet, but we got most of it done. So, main thing I want to talk about today is the suspension seat on the Z970R. I've gotten a couple questions about it. Some people that don't have it on their maybe 700 series zero turn, or maybe an older John Deere zero turn, are asking, is it worth the roughly $1,000 upgrade? So I'm going to talk about that now, as well as some of the other things that I think help with the ride quality of the zero turn. So we mow 7 acres total on our property. Now, not all of that, if you guys have been watching for a while, we don't mow all of that every single week. We mow roughly 4 to 5 acres every week, or every week and a half. Maybe about an acre of that is actually flat land. The rest of it is just former farmland, and it's pretty bumpy. So this suspension seat for us is an absolute must. Now, right off the bat, it is expensive. It's not cheap. I wish John Deere just made a lot of the 700 series and 900 series stock with this seat and the Comfort Glide, because what it does is it will move back and forth as you're going over bumps, and it would also bump up and down. All you have to do is dial in your weight, and that'll keep the seat from bottoming out, essentially. Now, I like to go about 5 to 10 pounds heavier than I actually am. If you don't, every once in a while, it might, be calibrated a little bit off. You will bottom out as you're going over bumps. So I like it just a little bit stiffer when I'm dialing my weight in here. But super simple. You just find your weight and you dial down to it. I'm about 165 pounds on a good day. So I dial that up to about 170 pounds. And that's how you operate the seat. Now, this down here is the Comfort Glide. You can lock this into place to where it doesn't move back and forth, or you can open it up to where it slides back and forth. That helps out drastically when you're going over hills and bumps and you're mowing at a fast pace. Now, some of you have asked, is it worth it? Is it worth the $1,000, or is it worth buying a zero turn with that option on it? Well, that's all up to you. It's all personal preference. I spend a lot of time outdoors. A lot of you guys know I'm a police officer, so I'm always wearing a vest and a gun belt when I'm working. The last thing I want to come home to is a zero turn with a bad suspension and get out there and mow 7 acres or 5 acres, whatever it is, and just be exhausted at the end of the day from the zero turn. Or if I'm on my day off, I don't want to be exhausted from riding this thing for 2 hours. So for me, I love having it. I wouldn't be able to tell you what this exact zero turn would be like without it. I think all the Z970Rs come with that seat and the Comfort Glide suspension. Now, the zero turn I mowed with before, it was a 48 inch. It was about 20 years old. It was a John Deere. It did not have any suspension, nothing, no Tweels. no Z-Glide suspension up front, and it was painful to mow. It was fast, it was powerful, but it was not a joy to mow at all. So if you have some extra change, or if you're buying something outright, I think it's a must. If you're a commercial guy, this is your job. I mean, this is just 2-3 hours a week for me, and I don't want to ride on a zero turn without it. If you're a commercial guy, I would think, in my opinion, that some sort of air ride seat or gliding seat is an absolute must. Riding this thing every day for 4 or 5 hours, 6 hours, some of you hard workers probably doing 8+ hours, like that just kills your body. Think longevity. I mean, $1,000 to have the comfort versus not having it and just being sore all the time. I don't know. That's your choice, but I definitely like it. A lot of questions about the Tweels. People saying that, asking if they don't stick as well on the hills or in wet grass. I wouldn't know for sure because I haven't run this same zero turn without him. My dad has a 60-inch Z970R. He also has the Tweels. What I can tell you is this sticks to the hills better, and it doesn't get as stuck as much as the 48-inch John Deere zero turn. But like I said, that was a 20-year-old zero turn. A lot of technology improvements. I imagine if you had the air tires in this exact model, that maybe they would stick better to the hills. That seems to be the general consensus or the vibe that I'm getting from the comments from you guys. So let me know, maybe if you guys can answer down in the comments, or send me an email if you've had a zero turn without the Tweels and with the turn, or with the Tweels. Have you had issues with the Tweels with sticking on hills or when you get down into wet grass? Is it significantly worse than the air tires? That question's mainly for you commercial guys that are getting a lot of experience and hours on your zero turns. Do you like the Tweels or do you like the air tires? Why do you like that and why not? The nice thing about this, if you're a commercial guy, you don't have to worry about getting a flat. Not that that's going to slow any of you guys down much, but it's one less thing you have to worry about. I definitely think that this absorbs bumps a little bit better than the air tires. That combined with the Z-Glide suspension up here, I've talked about this a lot. This provides a little bit of bounce. Instead of this being stiff, there's some play in this front suspension. This is aftermarket. There's only 2 aftermarket things on this zero turn: the Z-Glide suspension and then the chute blocker right here. But this provides a little bit of bounce up front. So if you're hitting a bump, that'll absorb some of it. Now the negative side to that is, instead of it being stiff, it's constantly moving up and down. So maybe you sacrifice a little bit of cut quality. Nothing that I've been able to notice. If you want to see more on the Z-Glide suspension, go back and watch a couple of the other videos. We did full reviews on that, an installation video. But I hope that answers some of your questions about the Tweels and the seats and the front wheels. If you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. There's a lot of full-time mowers that watch some of these videos, so if I can't answer it, they will answer. I run the 72-inch deck. My dad runs the 60-inch deck with the mulch on demand. Deck size is all personal preference. I like the ability to cut faster. I'm more concerned with saving time than I am necessarily getting a better looking cut. My dad, he likes the nice looking cut. He likes having the mulch on demand deck. Just takes him a little bit longer to mow his yard than it would if he had a 72-inch deck. Nothing wrong with that. All personal preference. So I'd stop up here on the north side of the property and just give you guys a picture of what we mow. Typically in our videos, we're only mowing at the tip of my finger, that field up there, and then also a field on the other side. What you guys don't see us mowing often is this side of the property, down along the shooting range, and then on the other side of these grapevines. You saw a little bit of that today along with the apple trees, but this is everything we mow. 7 acres total. One more thing, I mow with the ROPS down. The reason behind that is because there was one time where I mowed with them up and I hit a tree branch and the whole zero turn almost flipped over on itself. So I mow with them down. Hasn't been an issue thus far. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Definitely think the air suspension is worth it. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think.